going to track it.
You think the that glare will mess up in the video? Yeah, just how you can kind of. If we need that, I mean.
I have it on automatic. Angle and.
Do you think this glare, when he goes through the rest of his slides, will that be a glare?
Okay, guys, let's jump into it. Thank you all for coming. It looks like we have a packed house. Can everyone hear me okay? It's good? Awesome. So quick show of hands. Who all here owns their own business? Who all here works for a marketing department? Awesome. And is everyone who works in the marketing department, is your company on TikTok? Show of hands. Awesome. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. We're going to go over just a few different things around TikTok, and then we'll do a deep dive, or I'll say a dive, into 4 different brands that I think are killing it on TikTok. So my name's Keith. I currently serve as the CEO of Socially In. Socially In is a social media marketing agency. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But a quick background about myself. So my parents came from India a couple of months actually before I was born. So I'm the first generation here in the United States. As you can imagine, my parents wanted me to become a doctor, wanted me to become an engineer, etc. I ended up becoming an entrepreneur, but I've always been an entrepreneur my entire life. And in fast forward to 2005, my mom saved up enough money to buy me my first computer, which actually completely changed my entire life. And in 2007, my cousin and I started a sports forum. And I went down the rabbit hole of internet marketing because I Google searched how to get more users to the forum. And that led me into Warrior Forum, blackoutworld.com, and then I started doing a bunch of different things in the world of internet marketing. So for a long period of my life, I was doing paper install campaigns. I ran an AdSense farm, so I had a bunch of websites that was making like $5-10 a day through AdSense. And then because of that knowledge, I ended up starting Socially In 2011. So who is Socially In? So we are a social media agency. We are one of the only agencies in the nation that only focuses on social media. We provide all different types of services in the world of social. We've been in business now for 11 years, coming up on 11 years this June, and the different services that we provide. So getting a little salesy here, but we do social strategy, we do community management, we have a full production studio in Atlanta. For those of you who were here just a second ago, that was our studio reel playing in the background. We do paid advertising management. We manage about $10 million a year across all of the major social channels, TikTok being one of them. I think about 25% of our media spend is going towards TikTok and continually growing. We do data analysis, we do social listening, we do influencer activations, and then we have an entire social selling division. So if you're in the B2B space, then you want to have social selling. And today we have over 70 employees across all different states and all different countries across the world. Like I mentioned, we have a full production studio in Atlanta. We work with Fortune 500 clients today, so clients include Samsung, Nikon, Dick's Sporting Goods, Carnival Cruise Lines, and then we also work with a whole bunch of mid-market companies that you guys may have never heard of. And then today we have 3 different business units. We won numerous awards for our work, most notably Clutch. They call our customers, they interview our customers, and in the past 4 years we won Top Social Media Agency. So if you go to Google and just search Top Social Media Agency, you'll find our name across the board. We also have partnerships with many different companies that you would need to run a good social program. We were one of the first 300 global TikTok agency partners. We are Meta Marketing preferred partners. We're partners with Sprout Social and many more. And here's just a quick snapshot of some of our notable clients, which you can also see behind me, printed. Cool, so let's jump into it. So, I'm going to be talking about TikTok statistics, for those of you who don't know what's happening on TikTok. Some facts about TikTok. We'll talk about 4 different brands and break down kind of what they're doing well on TikTok. Try to give you guys some practical advice that you can take away and apply, and then a few tools that you can download and start using today in order to be successful on TikTok. Okay? So a couple of myths, right? So I hear this all the time. Number 1 is you have to dance. That is not the case. If you're on TikTok and you have a business algorithm like I do, I only guys are dancing. So number one, you don't have to dance. The second thing that I hear is that the demographic is too young. I have a chart here in just a second that will show you guys the audience and where the age range lands. Third myth is you need high-level production. So everyone thinks that you need to spend all this money on production. Absolutely not. You can actually create TikToks literally on your phone. We run some of the world's biggest accounts like Carnival, and we literally create TikToks on iPhones. I also hear that my audience just isn't there. Well, that's not accurate because 1 billion people use TikTok monthly, and 3 billion people, they had 3 billion downloads last year. Next is, I can't talk about my niche, it doesn't exist. Well, what I like to tell those people is, if you have such a small niche that you don't feel like your audience is there, it probably is too small. And then last but not least is you can't use TikTok to actually drive sales. Again, very wrong. TikTok ads today is like the early days of Facebook. So if anyone who was running ads on Facebook back in 2013, 2014, everyone remembers what those conversion rates were looking like. And that's what's happening on TikTok today. Like I mentioned earlier, about 25% of our media spend out of that $10 million is going towards TikTok. Awesome. So a couple of statistics on TikTok. So number one, 625 million downloads in 2022. It surpassed 3 billion downloads. I correct myself. It surpassed 3 billion total downloads. It's the 6th most used app. There are 1 billion monthly active users on TikTok, and only about 25% of the demographic is between the age of 10 and 19. So everyone else is above the age of 19. Here's a quick graph that I found from Statista. So what you can see here is that about 40% of the audience on TikTok is between the age of 30 and 50. So I'm 30. Most of my friend circle is between the age of 30 and 40. And we're all on TikTok. So whenever I hear that TikTok is too young for my audience, that's just not true.
Nobody's there.
Awesome. So a couple of facts here. Number one is creating awesome content is simple. Anyone can do it, right? So the only thing that you really need is your camera. And what we are going to be talking about a little bit later, our creative director, Nisha, who's in that pink suit right there, is going to be talking about thumb-stopping content. So she's going to be talking about how you can create these TikToks that I'm talking about on your phone. What's the quickest way to do it? Tips and tricks on editing tips, apps that can help you create these TikToks. So she'll be talking about that a little bit later. I don't know exactly what time, but it's on that agenda board right behind you. Okay. Another thing that I hear, another fact is smaller brands can use trending sounds. So we come across this all the time. Brands like Carnival or Samsung, they're like, okay, they're very limited to the licensed music that's on TikTok. But if you are a small brand, if you're a small business, which means less than 100 million in revenue, then you can use these trending sounds, and we highly recommend doing that because you want to catch the wave essentially. So definitely don't be afraid to use trending sounds if you're a small business. The worst that's going to happen is you'll get a cease and desist and you just take it down. Okay. Another fact is TikTok was the most downloaded app in 2021. I think everyone knows that, and it's captured a brand new demographic that didn't exist before. People who were never on social media are starting to download TikTok. Awesome. So let's take a look at 4 brands that I think are doing really well on TikTok. Starbucks, Ryanair, which is actually my favorite account, Asos, and then Gucci. So starting with Gucci, so their account is full of short films. So they've taken a much different approach than many brands, where they're quite literally doing that high-level production that I was talking about. So when I was saying that you don't need high-level production, you can be, grungy, you can whip out a TikTok in a couple of minutes. They've taken the opposite approach. So they literally create short films that I would imagine cost hundreds of thousands of dollars for these video shoots on TikTok. It's working so well for them actually that they've garnered 1.8 million followers on TikTok as a brand. And not only just any brand, a luxury brand on top of that. And follows suit. So a lot of their content is luxurious, it is high quality, but at the end of the day, it still has that TikTok feel. Asos. Asos is one of my favorite brands. It's a fashion company. They've taken a much different approach than Gucci. So what they're doing is they're utilizing user-generated content. So they're going out to their community and they're asking people to create TikToks for them. There's actually, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute, but there's a creator marketplace on TikTok. So if you don't know that, I highly recommend that you use that. So if you're like, well, I can't afford an agency, I definitely can't do TikToks myself, I don't know anything about a camera, what you can do is you can go to the creator marketplace, you can put out a brief on the creator marketplace, and creators, people who are already making TikToks, will put bids on your project, and that's how you can get TikToks. I mean, you can get TikToks done for as little as $50. Now, there is a variable there, right? So if someone has millions of followers, you're not going to be paying them $50 to create a TikTok, but you can find smaller creators who don't have a large following that can help you create these TikToks. And that's exactly what Asus has done, right? So their entire strategy is to rely on user-generated content. A lot of brands mix that in, right? So Carnival, for example, one of our clients, we mix in content that we create in-house, and then we mix it in with user-generated content. So think about your own strategy. If you can't fill up your TikTok feed with your own production, try to rely on the marketplace or user-generated content. Ask your community, reshare the stuff that they are posting. Starbucks, another brand that has amassed a massive following, 1.8 million followers. What they do is really unique and really fun, actually. So anytime that they have new flavors or new drinks come out, they get celebrities to introduce them. So celebrities will literally go on, create these TikToks. I'm sure they get paid lots of money to do this, but they have this non-high-level production feel to them. So it's like the celebrity picking up their phone in their living room, creating a TikTok for Starbucks, and then Starbucks is then turning around and publishing that. So much different than Gucci, who is spending, I would say, hundreds of thousands of dollars to produce those short films. Much different than Asos, who is using user-generated content to fill their feed. Starbucks is paying celebrities to create TikToks that feel like they're not highly produced. And this is my favorite account, Ryanair. So Ryanair's strategy has been really, I would say, memey. So they are really fast to jump on trends. Even though this is a big company in Europe, they are not afraid to use trending sounds. So going back to my point earlier of smaller brands can use trending sounds. Well, this is a perfect example of a large brand using trending sounds and not worrying about the repercussions that could happen by using an unlicensed song. I have seen many times where brands will tell us, like, hey, well, we have a legal department, our legal is not going to allow you to use unlicensed songs, and then that limits the production team, that limits the creative team to these boring sounds that are not trending, they're not going to work at the end of the day. And then Ryanair has amassed 1.6 million followers, so they are doing something awesome. She needs a raise, whoever's running their TikTok. Cool, last section. So a couple of tools and takeaways. So number one, publish as many TikToks as possible. So the way the algorithm works today is if you're able to publish more content more frequently, it's going to reward you. You might go, 10 posts, 11 posts without any of your content hitting, but it only takes that one piece of content. The way the algorithm works right now is it takes one piece of content to hit, and then you have a large following, large views. I mean, that happens to some of our accounts, right? So we have an account that we're running. It's a food account, and we posted many TikToks. I would say like between 15 and 20 TikToks, and one of those TikToks got over 100,000 views. But, it takes consistency. What we like to say is the magic number is 4. If you're able to produce 4 TikToks a day and post 4 TikToks a day, you will not lose. This is like guaranteed this will work if you're able to do this. Another thing that I would recommend is try to have longer form video. So if you're a personal brand, like if your own personal brand, what you can do is you can host a webinar, or you can have a longer format piece of content. So like this talk that I'm doing right now, what we'll end up doing is we'll end up chopping this talk up into 5 to 10 different micro pieces of content. So think about that too. Maybe in one sitting, you're able to capture 10 minutes worth of video content, and then having a junior editor go in and just chopping that up could help you get to that 4 magic number. Don't worry too much about your content, right? So all types of content exist on TikTok. There's mom talk, there's shit talk, there is a bunch of these different subgroups of people on TikTok who are talking about anything. Finance, for example, blew up on TikTok. There's a bunch of finance people on TikTok talking about financial education, etc. So you might not think that TikTok is the place for financial education, but there's a bunch of creators doing that. Don't be afraid to film on your phone, right? So I feel like I've said this a lot of times now, is you don't need high-level production. You don't need a production team in order to create TikToks. Literally pick up your phone and just make one and, see what happens. And then, like I said earlier, Nisha, our creative director, she's going to be talking about thumb-stopping content. How can you create thumb-stopping content on your phone in an easy way? Other thing is, if you don't want to do any of that, find a production team that can help. And it doesn't have to be a high production studio, expensive production studio. It can be a small shop. It can even be someone who is studying videography in college, an intern. So find a production team that can help if you feel like that you can't do it yourself. This is a big one, and I'm going to be talking, so my keynote's at 2 o'clock in the middle of the room. I'm going to be talking about community management, but engage with everyone that comments and take it one step further. We like to call it outbound engagement. So what you can do is you can literally find other people's profiles that your audience is following and start to engage with them. So TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter are the only platforms that you can jump into conversations. So as a brand on Facebook, you can't go to someone's profile and leave a relevant comment. So engage with everyone's comments, but take it one step further and do outbound engagement. In my keynote, I'm actually going to be talking step by step, giving you step-by-step instructions on how you can do outbound engagement. And we recommend doing at least 30 minutes of outbound engagement a day, paired with those 4 posts a day. You can't lose. And then use the TikTok Creator Marketplace. So I saw a few more people come up to the stage here, so I'll talk about it again. But TikTok Creator Marketplace is a place where you can put out a brief. Creators who already exist on the platform, who understand the platform, who understand the dynamics, who understand the psychology of how TikTok works, will then turn around and bid on your brief. So you can say, hey, I have XYZ widget, I'd like to make 5 TikToks, here's what I'm thinking, I want you to review it. You put that brief out, creators come and say, okay, well, I'll do that for $10, I'll do that for $50. Again, depending on